Hi, welcome to Top Chef University. I'm Arian from Top Chef New York. Course number 3 is all about cooking techniques, and this is your next lesson. Sauteing is a technique used to pan-cook food very quickly at a high heat to give it a golden crust while maintaining moisture. Here, we'll show you how to saute vegetables, which can give them a great texture while locking in all the flavors and nutrients. Let's begin. Sauteing vegetables is easy and delicious. It can be a great way to prepare a meal after a long day at work, which is quick and healthy. It's important to prepare the vegetables properly. The key is also maintaining a very high heat. Let's get sauteing. So what we have here, we're going to make a stir fry, a veggie stir fry. I have some green peppers, red peppers, onion, zucchini, snow peas, and garlic. Some basic vegetables that will create a delicious stir fry. One of the main tips that you really need to remember when you're creating a stir fry is cutting your vegetables the same size. This will help have everything cook evenly. You're going to have vegetables that some will cook quicker than the other, but still having them all the same thickness and the same size really helps even sauteing. So I'm just cutting the red peppers here in strips, and I'm going to do that with the green peppers as well. This is getting my mise en place all together, so everything's ready. I even have my pan warming up already, my saute pan, because again, this is a high heat, fast way of cooking. So my pan is already getting heated while I am getting these vegetables ready for you. So again, you see the vegetables, the peppers, all are pretty much the same size. Next, we're going to tackle our onion. It's a half of an onion. This is almost just like julienning. So again, strips, just like the peppers. We'll put them onto our tray as well. More mise en place. Now our snow peas are pretty much ready. All we had to do was clean them. Clean and wash them. They're ready to go. I have a green zucchini here. We're going to cut those into strips as well. So when I start sauteing, I'm actually going to start with the peppers and the onions. Those are going to be the longest to cook. So we will start with them, and then we're going to go to our zucchini and our snow peas. And I'm just going to give the garlic a quick chop. So earlier, when I was getting ready to prepare my vegetables, I washed and dried them. Again, you remember from the last class that it is really important to have our vegetables or our chicken, like we did last class, really dry. We don't want any water to create any kind of steam that's going into our saute pan. Because again, we're looking for that golden caramel color and that flavor when we're sauteing. So my pan is pretty hot. I'm going to add a little olive oil to get started. Our smoking pan, that means it's ready, right? In goes our peppers and our onions. Again, don't forget, hot heat, hot fat. So be careful. We don't want you getting hurt. Gently. No throwing the vegetables into the pan. Again, like the chicken, we want them to sit on one side and get nice and golden brown. We're not going to move them around too much. We're not going to season them yet either, because the salt will actually bring out the moisture in the vegetable. And again, we don't want that because that'll create steam. So let's just let these sit a minute. And you see how they're evenly laid on the bottom of the saute pan? Pretty much everybody has a little spot in the pan. So we'll let that go for a minute. Okay, now you see the vegetables are getting a little brown on one side. So actually, the word saute means to jump in French. So what I'm going to do is show you how the vegetables are going to jump. Now, don't try this at home until, you got to practice it a little. Practice it cold before you practice it hot. So basically, we're going to give it a jump in the pan. And you can see some of our vegetables browning nicely. Again, let them sit. So now that our peppers and onions have had their fair share time in the pan, I'm going to give them a little seasoning. I'm going to give them another little jump real quick. And then I'm going to get these guys out of the pan so we get the zucchini, snow peas. We give them their turn. I'm going to add just a little bit more oil. Just a little bit, not much. There's still, you see, there's still a little fat in that pan. So now we're going to get our zucchini in. Again, careful placing your vegetables in. You don't want to get hurt. We'll throw a little bit of garlic in. And our snow peas. So now we've added the snow peas and the zucchinis. You see, these take much quicker. If I had thrown them in with the peppers and onions, they'd probably be burned by now. And look at the green color, how gorgeous this is starting to look. And you don't want to overcook these because that's where you really want all your nutrients, your vitamins to stay in these vegetables. Ooh, did you see that? Just popped. Again, be careful. These vegetables have a mind of their own. All right, these are looking great. Again, we're going to give them a seasoning, a little bit of salt. I'm going to throw these back into the saute pan. I'm going to get my plate for plating. I'm going to give these another quick jump, quick saute. Look at how beautiful, how vibrant all the colors are. Not only do these look gorgeous, they are crispy, which is all about what sauteing is. Keeping the vegetables crispy, healthy. So now we're going to get ready to plate. All the different colors. And of course, once you get this down, you can start using any vegetables that you like. But just remember, it's all about the size and consistency of each vegetable that goes into the pan at different times. So there it is, sauteed vegetables. Pretty simple, right? Now I'm going to show you one of my favorite things, sauteed mushrooms. So here I have about 2 cups of cleaned mushrooms and a clove of garlic. My cast iron pan is getting nice and hot, so I'm going to slice these up and slice them. Again, it's important, consistency in the size. Nice and even. With sauteing the mushrooms, again, you need a hot pan. And again, that's nice and hot. What I'm going to do with the mushrooms is start with olive oil, but finish with the butter. I think we talked about that when we were sauteing chicken. So here we got it, my last few mushrooms. My pan is smoking and ready, calling my name. Let's get these back in the bowl. When I place these in the pan, we want to be careful. We don't want to get hurt. So here they go. Again, the thing about mushrooms, they have a high content of water in them. So you cannot overload the pan. I don't even know if I can put any more in this cast iron pan right now. Probably do this in 2 batches because we really want to get that caramelization going on our mushrooms. So again, the cast iron pan, a great heat conductor. Just going to raise this flame a little bit. You want to leave them, just kind of get them all a little coated with the olive oil in the pan. So they all have a little spot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit more olive oil to the pan. There it goes. You see, that's what they needed. That's sizzling. We're going to let them go. Just let them get nice and brown. You want them to just sit there because you don't want the moisture to come out. What's going to happen if you start playing with them, all that liquid comes out and then you're boiling, you're making soup. I'm just going to slice my garlic a little bit while we're waiting. So I'll be nice and ready to do this. So our first batch of mushrooms is ready. I'm just going to take them out of the pan so we can get the second batch of mushrooms cooking. Again, I can't tell you enough how important it is not to overcrowd your pan. If we added all those mushrooms at once, we would have been making soup because all the moisture of the mushrooms would have been coming out. So I'm adding a little more olive oil to the pan. Still nice and smoking hot. My mushrooms are going in. Again, that nice even layer so everybody has a spot in the pan. I just need a touch more olive oil. Just a little bit more. We're going to let these just sit and get nice and caramelized. All right, just give them a little toss. And then eventually what we're going to do, once everybody's sauteed nicely, is we're going to add some butter. Again, some delicious flavor. We're going to season the mushrooms. Like I said, you don't want to season them now because that'll just draw out the moisture in the mushroom. And we don't want that. We're looking for that beautiful brown caramelized mushroom, which is already happening here if you see that. If you want to get creative, feeling like a real top chef, you can always just give it a quick jump. So these are looking pretty good now. I'm just going to lower the heat just a little bit because I'm going to get ready to add the butter and the garlic, and we do not want our garlic to burn. So I have about a tablespoon of butter here. I'm going to add that right in the center. And right on top of that, I'm going to add my garlic. We're going to let that just cook up a little bit. And then I'm going to add our first batch of mushrooms back in there. To this, I'm going to add a little bit of fresh thyme. Just kind of take it off the sprig a little bit. Oh my God, these smell so good. Again. So now what I like to do with my mushrooms is hit them with a little red wine. About a tablespoon or two. Same amount of a little beef stock. Then I like this to just kind of reduce into the mushrooms where there's no more liquid left, just to give it a little extra flavor. And then we're also going to season with a little salt and a little pepper. And you can see how that liquid is just, the mushrooms is just soaking that all up. So now our mushrooms are ready to get plated. And like I said earlier, these are great on steak, chicken, in pasta. Oh, I need my tongs. Let me get these back. And there we have two great sauteed dishes, our stir-fry vegetables and our sauteed mushrooms with garlic and thyme. Sauteing vegetables is a quick and healthy way to prepare a meal, or a snack that even my kids enjoy. In the next lesson, we'll cover the proper ways to saute meat, guaranteed to be tender to the bone.